Hi Virgo, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you a monthly money and career tarot reading for the month of October 2021. I do want to genuinely thank you so much for joining me today, but I also want to remind you to go ahead and like the video, to leave me a comment down below, and subscribe to this lovely channel if you haven't done so already. We're going to begin by pulling a couple messages from the Soul's Journey deck, and as I do the initial shuffling, as I catch my breath, keep in mind general intuitive monthly read for the sign of my lovely calm Virgos. So do take what resonates and leave what doesn't for somebody else. But as well, make sure to check out the other placements, the other readings on the channel for more messages, okay? The other placements within your chart, if I didn't say that correctly. But one more shuffle this way. Okay. For my lovely Virgos to begin this monthly money and career read for October 2021. Okay, we got one coming out. What else do we have for Virgo? Money and career for October. This feels right. Okay. So 3 coming out. As well as love, I feel like there's going to be a level of love surrounding you throughout the month in general, but as well in your work environment, or just stemming from certain clientele or people you're wrapped up with, maybe your boss or certain co-workers or people that work for you. But there's also going to be a level of the universe pushing you to ask yourself, how much do you love what you do on a day-to-day basis when it comes to work, how you make your money, what you're trying to achieve at this point in time, okay? So we're beginning with peace for the 3 cards. And so this one says, I am a being of love, stems upon the other card that we were just talking about. And I release all negative energy. And so you may feel like you in September or August dealt with a lot of ups and downs, difficulties, or negative energy in your work environment, or just negativity surrounding your financial situation, and a need and a want to have things be more positive, more optimistic in the month of October, and a push by the universe to do just that. But you might also feel like there's just certain energies you're wrapped up with, whether it's tied to your money or in your work situation. Some of you working from home, and there might be some negative energies within your home environment. However it pertains to you specifically, there's a need for you to be the peace in the situation. I'm seeing somebody in my mind's eye meditating and just kind of being like the raising your vibration kind of energy, you know, needing to kind of deflect all of the negativity and just kind of be the peace in the situation and inspire others to do just the same. Okay? Self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. And so there's going to be a true focus throughout the month of October on your self-esteem, or lack of which. You know, how much do you believe in yourself and what you have to offer, right? A lot of you trying to get a job, a lot of you just trying to believe in yourself, as you make your way through a difficult situation or a job that you plan to stick with. Some of you taking on new side hustles or a second job or a third job and deciding to believe in yourself in that way. Needing to kind of understand what you have to offer once again, your self-worth, needing to take a true focus side by side with your self-esteem. Death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. And so you'll find that throughout the month there's also a focus on endings, right? Whether it's you without meaning to reflecting on past jobs coming to an end, or past situations that affected you financially, whether it's a financial obligation or whatnot, and just asking yourself productively, how did that affect my situation for the better and for the worse? And then, you know, thinking about some of you mulling over whether or not, weighing the pros and cons, whether a job is still working for you, or a financial obligation is needed to be renewed, or is going to continue as you move forward into your bright future. And to remember that certain things and situations, even relationships, come to an end to make way for something bigger and better, or just something more positive and healthy for you at this time. Okay, so we're going to continue and pull 6 tarot cards from the Light Seers Tarot deck. I always love your energy. It's super calm and peaceful. So let's do some initial shuffling for this. And one more. for my lovely Virgos to continue this monthly money and career read for October 2021. Okay, this feels right. Okay, some heavy energy. The Emperor at the bottom as well as the Wheel. So there's this feeling that throughout the month you're very seriously at times planning for what you want, what you desire when it comes to your career, when it comes to your financial comfort, or just, where you look to be as far as your goals are, and, adding more goals into your situation as you move forward. But it's just you trying to get this wheel moving or to continue that progress that you feel you've been making recently, even if it's not everything that you've desired or the amount of progress you've looked to have achieved up until this point. But just analytically, at times overthinking throughout the month, of course, but just trying to plan for what you deserve, what you want at this time. And a reminder will come in at certain points of the month that luck is truly on your side if you feel the need to take some sort of risk in either of the two or both categories, okay? 10 of Wands. So you begin the month of October and there's this feeling that things have been kind of bland recently. Maybe a lack of color. Maybe a lot of you have been working a job that isn't as enjoyable as it used to be, or you just feel as if you have a lot of obligations on your shoulders on your plate, to the point where it's just at times a bit hard to enjoy yourself when you're at work or just trying to fulfill certain obligations. For a lot of you, it's a very Five of Wands kind of feeling where it's a very conflicting sort of maybe gossipy or confrontational sort of work environment, or you're working with people who you feel are below you to a certain extent, and not meaning to come off that way, but just needing to be in line with the peace card, be the peace in the situation, right? Be an inspiration and example to those around you that you don't have to be confrontational in order to get to where you want to be. You might find there's a lot of sort of competitive energy surrounding you at this time, and it's you kind of being like, without actually having to say it, you don't have to be overly aggressive in that sense to be competitive, to be confident, to go after what you want and achieve it at the end of the day, okay? And we're making our way to the Nine of Wands, and it's you kind of remembering at the beginning of the month as well that you're on your own individual path when it comes to the two categories in your life in general, and just not to compare yourself to others, because everyone goes through their own ups and downs, right? And so you make your way to the middle of the first half of the month, and there's this true feeling that you are feeling like a wounded warrior, a bit depleted, or just feeling like it's a never-ending battle to get to the completion of certain goals, or to just kind of, for some of you, get a job, right? A lot of you just needing to remember at this point, being aligned with the self-esteem card, all that you have to offer, right? You don't want your sort of wounded or depleted state of being to affect your chance of getting a new job, or affect your chance of succeeding in the way you desire at this time. You don't want it to affect your the quality of your work either, okay? A lot of you being watched very closely by your coworkers, your clientele, your boss, whatever the case may be, or your employees, depending on, your position. And a need to just keep it confident, keep it cool, calm and collected, and you will do just fine. But I need to as well implement more self-care within the first half of the month in general, just to feel better about yourself, your situation, and to just, propel forward. Keep it moving. Just keep swimming. Two of Cups. But don't be surprised if you're feeling overly serious once again. I mean, the feeling that I got from the Emperor as well. But so remember I was saying there was a focus to a certain extent on connections. I feel like there's one connection that you'll be thinking back to from the recent past come the end of the first half of the month. And that connection coming to an end for a reason, or came to an end for a reason, in order to benefit you financially, whether it was sort of stressing you out to a certain extent, or it could have been a connection within your work environment, whether it was a coworker, a boss, or whatever the case may be, and the universe kind of splitting the two of you up in order to benefit you, being aligned with the Death card. For some of you, this is more so a focus on you meeting somebody new, and it reminding you that you had let go of certain energies, certain situations and connections for a reason, and now it's making way for a new beautiful connection. For a lot of you, it's a networking connection that leads you to a new level of success, or connects you to a new opportunity that will benefit you greatly, at the very least financially. And feeling as if a lot of you are just remembering as you wrap up the first half of the month that everything truly happens for a reason, okay? It doesn't feel love oriented. I mean, it could very much so be for a select few, but it feels just more networking or just a reminder in general as well. Excuse me. Four of Pentacles. And so you make your way to begin the second half of the month, and you feel the need to control things to a certain extent. This desire, this passion for the completion of your goals or for a certain level of success financially and career-wise leaves you wanting to sort of see things pan out perfectly, or you feel that like you know more than those around you at this time within your work environment, whatever the case may be for you. And don't be surprised when at this point in the month, the universe reminds you to loosen your grip to a certain extent, right? You, one, don't want to try and control other people or a situation to that extent and put an immense amount of pressure on them or the situation in general, but as well just loosening your grip and allowing things to progress, move forward and unravel in a natural, organic kind of way. Doesn't mean you don't put in that hard work and effort that you're used to. It just means don't overthink things and don't try to control things to that extent, to the point where things feel pressured and kind of more difficult than they need to be, okay? Being aligned with the Ten of Wands, I think a lot of you it'll be based upon you wanting to see things be more colorful. And you also will find that trying to tighten your grip and control things a bit more, how things unravel, or trying to kind of help people in that manner, I want to say, around you, it will make things a bit heavier at the very least for you and for the situation once again. And it feels like you have a lot on your back, on your plate already, so no need to make things any heavier, okay? Be the peace. And we're moving on to the Knight of Cups. And so as you make your way to the middle of the second half of the month, you find yourself with this new sense of creativity come over you, right? A lot of you might find that this is someone else's energy coming in and offering you a job, finally getting that feedback that you were desiring this entire time or for a while. But for the majority of you, this is your energy, where you're feeling more creative and feeling more passionate about your situation, feeling like loosening your grip and implementing more self-care, and just it's just this big change from you going from the Nine of Wands way of being, feeling like a wounded warrior, to feeling very sort of, again, passionate, creative, more stabilized, right? This sense of hope comes back to you, comes over you about your situation, about your future. And you're like, you know what, I got this. I'm a Virgo. I'm this calm, analytical, sort of peaceful, beautiful light in this world and in my work environment. And it's time for me to do what I need to do as I move forward, but in my own way. Right? Feeling like you may be surrounded by a lot of judgments and a lot of opinions at this time in regards to changes or adjustments or just how you're proceeding, and you're just like, I'll keep an open ear, but I kind of know what's best for me at this point for the most part, so I'm just going to keep trucking forward, okay? And again, it's just, you can see the face in both of these. It don't feel like you're going to be super ecstatic or overly sort of happy throughout the month. It's just this kind of like baseline sort of not happy, not mad, not sad, right? You're just kind of, you just are. And we're moving on to the Knight of Swords. And I feel like a lot of you will be thinking about purchases like a tattoo, a car, an apartment, doing research on stuff like that, as I'm drawn to the sleeve of tattoos here. I don't know that any of you will sort of finalize such a purchase within the month of October, but you're at the very least thinking in a mature way, a very analytical way, doing research, finding options. For some of you, drawing out or having somebody draw out a tattoo, just doing what you have to move towards that purchase, knowing it's important for you in one way, shape, or form. So Knight of Swords. And so you make your way to wrap up the month in general, and you find yourself with this new level of motivation, right? It's like all of which leads up to you just getting ready to run after a new opportunity or a new level of success. Again, some of you getting ready to move into the month of November, ready to run after a huge purchase like that, but it feels more opportunity-wise or just success-wise. And feeling like some of you are ready to run away from a job that is just toxic or confrontational or just not right for you anymore. Feeling like you've outgrown the situation. Whether this is more so you feeling the inclination and motivation to run away from a situation towards something new, you're at the very least running towards a new start or a new level of success in one way, shape, or form once again. And allow this motivation to carry through into the month of November in a beautiful way. But it's as if this Two of Cups connection, the new one for a lot of you, has led you to this new level of motivation, finding that this person affects you in a positive light or has led you to the opportunity you're running towards. Or it could be a connection for some of you Virgos that has inspired you to move away from an opportunity, a job, a career choice that doesn't work for you anymore. Once again, however it pertains to you, it just feels like this connection in your life at this time is helping you in one way, shape, or form. And you can't help but finish up the month as well as you're running towards or away from a situation, reflecting on endings and new beginnings as you have been throughout certain points of the month. Okay? So we're going to finish up this beautiful reading by pulling a message or two from the Small Making Magic deck for Virgo to wrap up this monthly money and career read for October. Okay. Prosperity. A prosperous business with riches and success. And I didn't mention it, but some of you might find as if it's time for you to start your own business, enter the start your own entrepreneur path, if you will. But either way, it just feels like you're meant to be prosperous. You're meant to be successful in one way, shape, or form. I'm so sorry that was such a struggle. But as well, at the bottom of the deck, we have perseverance, the motivation to keep going despite the odds. And so a reminder from the universe to keep persevering, to keep moving forward, despite what you have to deal with, any obstacles along the way, and to just keep moving forward with the utmost self-esteem and stay peaceful along the way. All right? So Virgo, I hope this reading was truly helpful. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I hope you have the most amazing month, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Virgo.